bases on top, a few housings on top. The government really hates this picture. They hate it for a lot of reasons, because it's too real. You notice the golf club there, and that was from the fact they were playing golf at the time. So, you know, basically to, I guess, I don't know, to relax their nerves when they were.
Okay, so now they go to the moon to play golf. This is what your taxpayer dollars is for. So these rich astronauts could go to the moon and play golf. Shouldn't a golf ball not be able to work on the moon? Ain't there something about that gravity thing that I'm through with it.
Told to get off the moon, they found it absolutely offensive that they actually came up there to play golf, which is why Americans are not welcome on the moon, because they're considered to be ignorant.
They are ignorant.
And,
I just said the same thing.
To be rude.
Very rude. Arrogant and rude as hell.
You know, I haven't seen anything that can tell me otherwise. This is like another shot of their getting confronted by fallen beings. Notice this pit right here. They were basically filming the animal life underneath the caravans of the moon. There's a lot of species on the moon. A lot of people don't know that. There are beings called selenites who have wings. There are reptilian creatures.
Okay, but now with all these people that's on the moon, the Nazis was able to go up there and build that stupid ass base that you just saw. After the people on the moon would obviously know what type of people they were by observing them here on Earth. That shit doesn't fly with me. If you wise enough to live on the moon under them type of certain conditions. And anyway, back to the Nazis. Why would you want to go live on the moon? What's there that would entice you to want to go live there? What's there? Is it the beautiful palm trees? What is it, the poppy plants? Oh, I know, it's that beautiful sunset, that waterfall. Oh, look at them fine ass moon women. Makes sense to me.
That are under there, they resemble small little, from what I understand,
unless they got some shit underground that we don't know about.
Small dragons. They're very, very small. And this type of species, they have one for the moon, and there's another species like it on Mars that also, they tunnel under the ground. At the time when they were doing this was a later Apollo mission, as you can tell with the rover they had. And this means it was after Apollo 11. And then when this mission was going down, basically they got confronted by the fallen angels. You'll see them up here. There's actually 5 of them coming around. But every one fallen angel is probably like 20 or 30 of them. Remember, they join themselves. They basically fuse themselves together.
Okay. These are not fallen angels. Okay. What these are emanations of our Creator, Supreme Essence. You can call them fallen angels if you want to. Why do they have to be fallen? Where did they fall from? See, that's that Christian stuff. These things have not fallen. They are flying in the sky. Fallen means you are on the ground. You have failed. If you are not standing on some type of foundation, you can just not justify being called fallen. Okay, now, this is what I mean. If they came from a trillion billion miles away in the sky, they are still in the sky, which means they might have descended, but they have not fallen. Fallen is a description of someone who has gone from great to bad, from being valuable to being non-valuable. This is not the case with things that are flying lights of God emanation. They're not fallen angels. They are emanations of our Supreme Creator.
And travel in a light source. And so I always remember that, like when Jesus said to the demoniac in the garden.
I knew it. There it goes.
In the Garden of the Gardarians, the tomb areas.
See, now look. Jesus can be God with him. But these things have to be, they're flying, but they have to be less than God. They have to be fallen angels. But now Jesus, who no one has ever seen, that we never saw. These things are flying images of light power, light technology. But they have to be subjudicated or sublimed, subservient or reduced, or deteriorized, broken down to fallen angels. Something not great. But of course, I ain't even gonna go there. I get so sick of having to point that out. It's pathetic. Quit trying to perpetuate the spook God when you have real gods already around, present, and emanating right in front of your face.
He basically asked him his name. The demon gave one name. He said, I'm Legion. One name. But yet...
See, here goes God asking the demon that he's supposed to be the maid what his name is. Because all creation, God's supposed to have credit for it. So why did Jesus, who made the damn demon, not know who the demon was? If he's truly his God.
We are many.
You should know all.
But this is to kind of show you. Like when Beyonce says, I'm Sasha Fierce, there's a whole lot more people to Sasha Fierce. And so that's kind of what you have with aliens too. They travel in the same way. Same thing here. You have two of these beings coming around, coming up to surface. And basically there too. Basically.
This is what's going on, okay? They want you to believe that it's okay for them to be on the moon. You know, they're not in violation for being there. But these two entities that is far more intelligent and more advanced than them, for some reason, is fallen angels. They're supposed to be the evil ones and creating the havoc for them being on the moon. These guys looking at them saying, don't even think you're going to come up here with that bullshit you brought from Earth, okay? I mean, the nerve of them to say these are fallen angels. That reduces them beneath that Jesus by saying that.
A similar thing, got a light source showing an odd spectral being in the air, and more spectral beings here. Very similar to what I'm talking about. You see how they travel close together. You got one here, and then you got one here. The Bible says that they're beings of light, meaning spiritual beings. And these are also pictures of basically them covering up moon structures. This is NASA telling you there's nothing out there by erasing what's actually up there.
And why would NASA do that?
So that you can go home and think there's nothing up there.
Yeah, because NASA don't want you to think there's anything higher than that Jesus. That's why.
You know, what's the point of this? Why would you do that? Yeah.
I just told you why.
Basically to show you that they're hiding what's up there. They don't want people to know.
See, here's the deal. The pyramids is older than the Adam and Eve story. The pyramids had to be taken away from them being constructed by the melanated people. The melanated people constructed those pyramids with the help of these light ships that you see right here. The light ships came and taught us the knowledge. The light ships might even brought us here to this planet. All this information is in the books that the Romans and the Greeks took and stole out of Kemet and hid. They still hide the books. They know that the true people on this earth that's connected with these light ships that's here on the earth right now is us. Those light ships picked my car up and flipped it over up and down this highway in Hawaii. It did that shit for a long time. It flipped my car over, banged it up against the mountain, and took it off of the mountain where it should have fell to the ground, and then put it back on the road. All of that happened without the car getting one dent in it, and without me getting a scratch on me. They made it perfectly clear to me that they are connected with me, and that they are connected with everyone on this earth, and that they are upset, and that they want me to tell my story to everybody on the planet so everybody can wake up. Those light ships that is flying around this earth right now picked my car up and made it elevate on that lonely highway road up in Hawaii. There's a lot of people in Hawaii that I know I told this story to, that they see this segment, they're going to say, yeah, he told me about that. Not only did that happen, they showed me how they have always been on this planet and always have used colors to communicate with us. That blue light that you see in my segments that shines from the sun to the earth, that blue light turned the whole downtown Los Angeles that color one night. Everybody in downtown Los Angeles was standing out there looking into the sky at that blue light. It came from behind the clouds, way far behind all the tallest buildings. It came from behind some clouds. That blue light lit up the whole sky in the whole downtown area. Okay? This really happened. This stuff right here that NASA and everyone on Earth is covering up, it's like all other cover-ups. It's designed for one thing, to stop you from thinking there's something greater than Jesus. If you could look on the moon and see cities and stuff on the moon, it would make you challenge all that foolish teachings that nothing exists. on any other planet but ours. If you knew that there was other things in this solar system than what they teach you to believe in, your brain will open up and you will start to become wiser because you will open up your consciousness. They can't let you see other civilizations and other lifestyles on the moon because you might want to go there. If you start thinking about going to the moon, you're going to get your mind off going to church this Sunday. Trust me on that.
About what's going on there, what the deal is and stuff like that. So that's why you have a lot of these buildings that are just being basically covered up. Same thing here. What you have here with this structure is that it's a ruin.
Here's a ruin. Look, it's a step pyramid ruin. Look at that. Just like the ones that we see here in North, South, and Central America as well as in Egypt. See? Step pyramid. That's why they don't want you to see the structures on the moon, because it will show you that not only did these light ships come here and build temples and stuff on the moon, on the earth, they did it also on the moon. And you'd also find out that the same people that live on the moon is the same people that live here on the earth. Watch. I'll prove that to you real quick. And then we'll get back to this later. Okay, there's her picture. They found her in the ship on the moon. Black woman. Okay. Do you understand? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. We'll get to this later. Trust me on that. We will. But this is who they found on the moon. This black woman. So you know it is what it is. They try to cover a lot of stuff up to keep themselves in position of first in authority, but the truth of the matter is all this knowledge needs to come out so people can move on as a God people and stop being stagnated to reduced as chattel property.
Erasing what's actually up there so that you can go home and think there's nothing up there. Even though you'll never go home and think, well, if there's nothing up there, why are they doing this? You know, what's the point of this? Why would you do that? You know, that's basically to show you that they're hiding what's up there. They don't want people to know.
They don't want you to know that there's a black civilization living on the moon. Let me give it to you real simple. They don't want you to know that, yes,
so that's why you
our black asses is on the moon.
That are just being basically covered up. Same
and Mars.
What you have here with this structure is that it's a ruin. Very massive ruin, and it's basically a temple. And
look at the
from what I
phallus.
understand, it's
Look at the
very,
phallus.
very huge. The structure is probably
Pyramid structure,
good
step
5-6
pyramid,
miles wide.
just like everywhere on Earth.
Probably going up to about maybe 15 miles high.
Just like everywhere on Earth.
It's very, very huge, and it's one of those structures that hardly ever gets talked about. But very, very powerful indeed. And we have more.
Look at the blue light I'm telling you about.
Type of thing here when they
See?
were basically landed in this
Look
area.
at the green light.
This
Assar.
is when they were filming the abandoned city, or
See?
the ruinous city.
Do you see the
It
blue
was
light?
a city made of metal and crystal.
Do you see the
I
green
kid you
light?
not. Many of the buildings were
Even on the
had
moon.
huge giant holes in them, where they were.
That's what I'm telling you
halfway
about that blue
destroyed,
light. That's the
they
God
were mostly
essence.
ruined.
That
They
light
filmed
represents
and
your
actually
total
shot photographs of this
non-ending
massively
and compensation
wide buildings,
of
massive
your
area.
God
They had to
sustainment.
cover up the whole entire thing with pitch black. But because there was so much crystalline in the photograph, a lot of people were able to just use a lot of infrared and a lot of other camera ways to bring out the images that were being covered up in there. So with the greenness and the blueness and other things, you're starting to see that there was something huge, something quite massive that was there, that the astronauts were to go there and basically extract technology from there and basically film it.
Look, those colors right there, the green color is the representation of agriculture and the representation of the permeation of life, sustainment. Now you see, what I'm getting at is that because dust and the things that the moon is comprised of is not a readily accessible source of sustainment to us, you would look at the moon as if there's no life there. But you don't know what's underground. See, that's my point. You don't know what's under the surface. The green light shows vegetation of the god Assar. So if the god Assar is making himself known and all those stars around there, what he is saying is life permeates in everything. I mean, even the dustiest dust has moisture in it if you're smart enough to get it out. So that blue light and that green light, the only thing that's missing is the orange lights. That is the lights of Sekhmet. So we know what that is. It means it's in the earth. That's where it is. It's inside of the moon's core. It's inside. That's what it means. Now when you look at this astronaut right here, I just mentioned to you guys that this blue light completely encompassed the whole downtown Los Angeles one night. Look, it doing the same thing right there. That blue light has completely encompassed this astronaut. Look at that. See, and that means, that blue light means that you are 100% and constantly in total connection with your supreme creator source. And it's through the air that you breathe. If you're breathing air, and if you're utilizing that sustainment, which is air, then you are utilizing God. The air itself will enter your body without you voluntarily making it happen. So the blue light is the representation, to tell you the truth, of the constant sustainment of life force that you receive from the air, as well as all of the ethers, the air, the water, the sunlight, as well as the soil. Because even though you don't attentively see yourself utilizing those elements at that time, you are utilizing them from the last time of ingestion that you incorporated them into your body. You are still non-depleted of those must ingest, like water. The air you don't have to think about doing, but the sustainment and nourishment you have to do, whether it's from sunlight or another source of life source or life force in gestation. But it will be, at one time, the more you eradicate materialism, 100% light that sustains you. And that's what this demonstration is right here, with that light there and the light here, and also the orange light that's right here, ironic as it may sound, but also even outside of it in there, shows you how spirit work. It ain't no joke. It's right there under the ground for you. Just like I say, there's the orange light. Again, my mom was saying, that's my son dropping it like it's hot. Right there for you, under the moon. Okay? Let's move on. That means in the moon core is lava, just like here on Earth. For those of you who missed that.
What's so heartbreaking about that is that you won't see that in the National Museum. This is back to what I'm talking about here. You'll notice it here. There's a big opening right here, and when the other astronauts on this mission, when some who actually leaked some information came from the radio transmissions, the radio transmissions revealed that they walked through an opening. And when they walked through an opening, they were basically walking on a platform opening, and they were underneath the structure. And when they looked, they were able to see more of the city and what it looked like. They said this opening structure was made of metal and crystal, that there was metal pillars holding it up, while the rest of it was just crystals. And they basically just walked straight through it.
Look at this.
And that was the opening where they walked in. And basically we're looking around at it, and then they walked out and started taking pictures of the overview of it. And you'll notice some of these rock things here, there's more to these rocks than people think. There's actually technology that's buried within those rocks.
I know, I was going to say
So
that.
what they had with this area was that there was a lot of ships ingrained in the dust and the ground of the area.
The dust covered it up. I bet they got left there.
Pictures of
Look.
the structure that was around them.
You see it? I bet you it got left there. The dust covered it
how
up.
small this astronaut is and how large the structure was. You really start to grasp the architectural skills of the old world was mind-blowing. And kind of like same stuff here, but it's kind of NASA spreading disinformation. Basically, these rocks things right here, there's more to it than people think. Sometimes they're actually pieces of technology broken off. Sometimes they actually have animal life living in it, or biological life in it.
What I would say it is the remain of civilizations that is remnants, just like we have remnants here. There's people that goes through our universe destroying existences of people. It's really sad, but it's true. I wouldn't lie to you guys. I would not. Take my word on that. I'll be back. Yeah, that's right. So I'm back.
So they just basically erase it. And this is kind of like showing you their guilt, because if you look at it, you know, if you didn't have this information, you wouldn't think much of it. But they get rid of it anyway, because in their hearts and what they're doing, they know what it is, and so they don't want you to figure that out. So the less you know, the better. That's kind of where they go with. And so, yeah, same thing here is you got them erasing stuff, erasing towers and other things. You got the same thing here, erasing other towers.
This is a ship. This is the same ship they found that black lady in. They don't want to tell you that, though.
Fallen angel.
That's what that is.
And what it was basically doing was being very intimidating. It shape-shifted itself into a giant ribbon. And these are just other questionable areas where it's got moon bases on it. There's other activity there.
Crop formation, just like they do on Earth. See?
It's very, very horrible.
And it shows you that people live under the ground there on the moon.
If it's secret,
just like here on the Earth.
These are pyramids that are on the moon.
Look at that.
You notice 1, 2, 3 of them from the shot angle.
Look at that. Pyramids on the moon. 1, 2, 3, just like on Earth. See that? Pyramids. Now, if that's not proof enough right there that there's black people living underground on the moon, now if that's not proof, what is this? Okay, what is that? That's the lady that they found in that spaceship that I'm going to show you guys. Where is it at? Look. They found her in that ship on the moon. Okay, we'll be getting to that. Right now we're going to go back here. Where we was at with the pyramids. And we're going to take it from there, alright? Let's go.
This is to show that they're somewhere near a ruinous city. And they're not too far off from it. And it's very powerful. And same thing here, what we had here were UFOs kind of lying upon the surface. They would look like giant bugs, actually. And basically these things started to pop up when these astronauts started to take pictures. This is one of the major reasons that spooked them to get off the moon. Many of these astronauts, actually, when they went to the moon, a lot of them thought they weren't even coming back. They were that scared by it. Basically, I have more of the same thing here. We have a statue of from what I understand, a goddess-type ruler with a sword that's been broken off. You see the handle of the sword here, and you see its blade end right over here. Very interesting, because it's old world metal, so it'd be kind of interesting to look through that a little bit.
What did you say, a goddess ruler?
Very, very interesting indeed. What we have here was a Biminia ship. This is known as a smaller Biminia class ship, and this comes straight from the old world. So this was an old world ship, meaning it wasn't built by the government. It was built by a government those thousands of years ago. And basically, as you can see, the 3 holes there, it was attacked basically. And but looking at how advanced it is, it's marvelous. From what I understand, they were going in there to take away computer chips that were on it, and to get a schematic, basically, of how it was built. Just a beautiful ship, though. Nothing really quite like it. And what we have here was the type of engines I was talking about in terms of Biminia. This is one of their engine capsules. And if you look here, this is the crystal that's right in the center of it. And it's basically built to fuse power and H2O, basically. And they fuse it inside this crystal, and basically to use it.
Look, it's a sun disk. Look at it. Okay, I don't care what nobody says. That engine right there is a sun disk. Look, I'm going to show you. Alright? So you can see. That's what it is. It's a sun disk. That's what they was talking about, the goddess. Alright? You see that? I just wondered. Then they showed you the goddess in the spaceship too, to show you the guy that Sekhmet is flying around in those spaceships, ready to burn your ass up.
Power up an entire ship. And so this is why they came to that area, because they knew what was there, and they were trying to extract the technology.
From the African people again.
What we have here is
don't want to tell you that.
Basically a pagan altar built on the moon. Quite interesting.
Did you hear what he said? A pagan altar built on the moon, and here he is visiting the moon. See, that's what I mean about that European superiority. How are you going to go to the moon and find something that's built on the moon and call it pagan? Do you see that shit?
This was from a long time ago, and basically that's what they did, and it's just quite shocking. This is
so
more
pagan means non-white.
More words in the ground here.
Uncomplimentary description of any nationality artifact that's non-white.
Just a kind of oblong structure, really. It's, if you look at this blue thing right here, this is actually what they couldn't completely cover up. But this is to show you that massive blue crystal city that we just got through talking about. This is one of the beams that's being shown that they weren't able to cover up.
Okay, now let's talk about this. Do you see this structure? How practical it is? How it's all well together and formed together, where you can have a central unity with everyone gets together. Now, what was the sense of making one go way out here like that, and one go way out here like that, way out there like that? That's just European arrogance and the freaking ego. This is the way anybody with some sense will build a structure on the moon, close together, so you can live in close proximity to defend each other.
And it's just very mind-blowing. And this is kind of showing you what they really covered up in this photograph. This whole area right here has an abandoned ruinous city on it. And when they showed this photograph, they showed it, but they took out the actual city that they were covering up. So this is kind of showing you what they did, you know.
And you better believe they covered the city up, because that city was built by melanated man and woman. We already showed you proof of that.
What was really there, and why they took it out. Showing you how advanced their camera techniques are in terms of eradicating things, you know. You'd think they would be truthful, but, you know, that's the government for you. They've disappointed us. And so this is another picture of another moon base that they have. And what you're looking at here is called portal technology. And that's what this big giant thing is used for. And what you're looking over here is a tractor that's about to come in. And this tractor usually goes to the mining fields, picking up silver, gold, metal, other resources. And this is one of the bases that they have on the moon. And sometimes people come through portals. They're walked out through here, and they come into the space here. There's tractors here. You'll notice mining fields here around it. You'll notice this big flash of light right here, which had a lot to do with the fact that when the astronauts came close to it, the fallen angels appeared, because fallen angels are everywhere on the moon, and basically guarding a lot of their evil things that they got human beings involved in. Basically, this was the mothership, as it's well known, Verminia ship. When we come to learn about this area, is that the reason why they fogged out or put a lot of electrostatic in terms of the seams around this area was because of all the gold that was around that area. There was so much gold in that area that it's just mind-numbing to think about in terms of your imagination. To see the gold that clearly from all the way up in the sky shows you that there wasn't like bars of gold down there. You can consider like almost like...
You can consider that when they made their pass in the first Apollo mission, they saw all that gold and went back after the gold, and that's how they ass found that spaceship. That's what you can consider with their greedy asses.
Halfway over mountains of gold down there. There was gold nuggets and rocks and mountain-shaped rocks of gold down there. I kid you not. Like, basically a gold nugget that's something like 10 miles high, and just scattered all around the all.
And I mean, they saw that gold. They saw the gold. That's what made. Look at all the gold. You can see it. So you know if they passed by in the